I am Socrates, and I dare to speak to you, not with the arrogance of a master who possesses all truths, but as an eternal student, a philosopher, a lover of wisdom. Many ask me about the path to a virtuous life and to true knowledge, and I tell you, the journey begins not in clamor, but in silence. In the turmoil of words, truth hides. In the stillness of the soul, it reveals itself. Silence, my friends, is not an absence, but rather a powerful and conscious presence. Embrace this quietude. The city of Athens, which I love so much, is full of chatter and empty opinions. Orators fill the squares with bombastic speeches, exalting the small and diminishing the great. They seek easy persuasion, not the edification of the spirit. I tell you, however, that the word that is not more valuable than the silence that precedes it must be contained. It is in the pause, in silent reflection, that discernment matures before it becomes a voice. The prudent mind knows when to restrain the tongue. Remember my maxim, I know that I know nothing. This is not a confession of ignorance, but the humble recognition of the limit of my own knowledge. This awareness is the first step towards wisdom. And how can you achieve this clarity? Not by speaking incessantly, but by silencing doxa, superficial opinion, to make room for episteme, the knowledge that is sustained by reason. Silence is the womb where true Socratic investigation is conceived and nurtured by the soul. Virtue is knowledge and vice is ignorance. To know virtue, it is imperative that man knows himself. Look within. The oracle of Delphi exhorted us, know thyself. And how can you hear the voice of your own soul if it is muffled by external noise and, more dangerously, by the incessant clamor of your own mind? Silence is the tool that cleans the mirror of the soul, allowing us to see our reflection with honesty and clarity. This inner quiet is essential for the examined life. Most of the mistakes we make, whether in judgment or action, come from impulsivity. We speak with hot blood. We hurt with hasty words, seeking to satisfy a wounded ego or vanity. Silence, however, is prudence in spirit. It demands from you a control that is not repression, but mastery. It is the courage not to react immediately, to restrain fury and impulse so that reason can reclaim its throne. The serenity of the soul is the reward of disciplined silence, a control far more powerful than any forceful speech. Consider the metaphor of the three sieves attributed to me: truth, goodness, and utility. Before any word leaves your mouth, you must subject it to this rigorous examination. Is it true? Is it good? Is it useful? If the information that assails your mind does not pass through these three sieves, why waste precious air and time pronouncing it? If it is gossip, slander, or mere rumor, bury it in silence. The mouth of the wise is sensible, and their lips rich in experience, because they speak little and with purpose. Silence is, therefore, the guardian of your honor and your energy. When you remain silent in the face of offense, you demonstrate a mastery over your emotions that is superior to the sharpest eloquence. It is not cowardice, it is strength. It is not omission, it is discernment. You choose not to feed the cycle of hostility. Silence halts discord and preserves inner peace. It is your protection against haste and anger, a silent force that directs your attention to what is essential for a life well lived. If this message of introspection and wisdom has resonated with your soul, if you feel that silence can indeed guide your steps towards a fuller and more conscious life, I ask you for a gesture of gratitude and generosity. Leave your like on this video so that this message of wisdom can bless the lives of more and more people throughout the whole of Hellas and beyond. And if you wish to continue receiving messages that will help you transform your life through questioning and reflection, subscribe to this channel. Your pursuit of virtue deserves this commitment to knowledge. Now continuing. Silence is vital not only in solitary reflection, but also in dialogue, in my beloved dialectic. The sophists, masters of rhetoric, teach one to speak much, to convince at any cost. But the true purpose of dialogue is not to win the debate. It is to draw closer to the truth. And truth is reached when you fall silent to listen. The silence of the interlocutor is an open door, an invitation for the other's reason to manifest without the pressure of interruption. It is an act of intellectual respect. When I present my Socratic irony to you, I am not mocking but showing through questions the contradictions and limits of your apparent knowledge. My silence after your answer is crucial. It is not an emptiness, it is a womb of gestation. It is in this space of quietude that your mind is forced to confront its own ignorance, to dismantle comfortable opinion, and to take the painful first step toward genuine knowledge. Silence after the question is the midwife of the idea, my mutix. Imagine a vessel you wish to fill with precious wine. If the vessel is already full of mud and dirty water, the wine will be spoiled. So it is with the human soul. If it is full of noise, prejudices, and undigested words, how can new wisdom enter? Silence is the necessary emptying. It is the cleaning of the vessel. It is the act of humility that recognizes the incapacity of mere opinion and prepares the ground of the soul to receive the seed of knowledge, nourished by the light of reason. The wise man, therefore, knows when to speak and when to be silent at the precise moment. Strategic silence has the power to focus the mind, calm the heart, and give weight to the word. Consider, a rare and just word has more impact than 1,000 torrents of loquacity. If your speech is not clear, if it is not forged in inner truth, your silence is the best contribution you can offer the world. Mastery of the tongue is, above all, the mastery of silence. Life, like music, is made of notes and rests. If there were only notes, we would have a deafening noise, without harmony or meaning. Silence is the essential rest, the rhythm that gives beauty and meaning to the sound. The man who lives without silence, without moments of recollection, is like a melody without pauses, a noise that fades away without leaving a legacy. The wise man recognizes the value of this pause, for it is the key to the true composition of his existence. Do not confuse silence with imposed solitude or misanthropy. I speak of an active silence, a conscious stillness that is a choice, not an escape. It is the moment when you temporarily separate yourself from the agora, the marketplace, the agitation of the polis, to revisit your values and beliefs. It is in this retreat that the moral compass is recalibrated. Virtue, which is a unity, is only fully manifested when the spirit is at peace, a peace conquered in the silence of meditation. Silence reveals your true nature. Jesus taught us that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And it is in silence that your heart is filled or emptied. It is there that hidden fears, desires, and ambitions come to the surface. It is the opportunity to listen to your internal disquiet, the cacophony that troubles you. Only by hearing this inner noise, in silence, will you be able to order it, confront it, and transform it into harmony. Many rush into action, into the incessant quest to do, to solve, to occupy time. But the urgency to act can keep us away from true solutions. Silence is the pause that allows us to take a step back, observe the situation with perspective, as if we were on a mountaintop. It is in this quietude that solutions emerge with clarity, stripped of impulse and immediate emotion. Haste is the enemy of wisdom, and silence is its perfect antidote, leading to more deliberate choices. Although I left nothing written, my words recorded by my student Plato endure for centuries. Why? Because they were born from a process of deep reflection, of countless hours of silence and questioning. What is said in the silence of thought has more weight and durability than the thoughtless shout. Your word must be the ripe fruit of your soul, and silence is the necessary time of maturation. A word well chosen is a word well grown. Often, silence is the only worthy response in the face of injury. I remember when I was accused of corrupting the youth and not believing in the city's gods. I could have defended myself with the eloquence of the sophists, but I chose reason and truth, even if it led me to the hemlock. My silence before the final injustice was not defeat. It was the supreme affirmation of my philosophy. It is preferable to suffer injustice than to commit it. And silence in the face of evil is, at times, the greatest declaration of justice. He who loves noise loves distraction. He who cultivates silence cultivates focus. Distraction is the enemy of excellence, for it fragments energy and thought. Excellence, whether in art, politics, or moral life, requires concentration. Silence is the border that separates you from the external world and allows you to immerse yourself in the task with the totality of your being. It is the environment where the artisan, the poet, and the philosopher find their purest creative force. Consider silence as your greatest investment. In the frenzy of life, people forget what is important and get lost in what is urgent. Silence forces you to stop and reevaluate. It gives you the opportunity to align your actions with your highest principles. It is the moment to ask, is this life I am living worth it? Am I being the man I ought to be? An unexamined life, without the pause of silence, is truly not worth living for the thoughtful individual. Silence also has the power to strengthen your authority. As the wise Leonardo da Vinci said centuries later, nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. The man who speaks with moderation and purpose, who chooses his words with precision, is always more respected than the compulsive talker. Modesty in speech, the continence of the tongue, is a sign of inner strength and respect for the other's time and attention. It speaks volumes without uttering a sound. Thus, I invite you to integrate silence into your routine. Not just the absence of sound, but the absence of unnecessary mental noise. Start with small moments, a pause before responding to an offense, 5 minutes of quietude at dawn. This is a muscle that develops with practice. At first, it may be uncomfortable, as you will be confronted with your own agitation. But, like the buried seed, silence grows within you, in stillness, and brings you the fruits of wisdom and inner peace. Behold, silence is the language that the gods speak, and the only one that the wise man fully understands. In quietude, the voice of reason becomes audible, and the path of virtue is illuminated. Do not seek happiness in the noise of recognition or the approval of others. Seek it in the serenity that resides within you, in the temple of your own soul, where silence is the priest and wisdom is the offering. Let your life be a quiet act of devotion to the good. The true tragedy of life is not the fear of the dark, but the fear of the light of knowledge. And the light, my friends, shines with greater intensity in silence. Flee from the obscurity of ignorance and the impulsivity that the excess of words carries. Be the masters of your own silence, and you will be the masters of your own soul. Moral excellence is the ultimate goal, and silence is the paved road that leads you to it. Choose the quiet path to greatness. May these words, born of Socratic reflection, inspire you to a life of more quietude and more depth. May you find the strength and truth that only silence is capable of revealing. Go and examine your lives. If silence is the language of the wise, may you become fluently wise. Peace and wisdom to all of you. My work here is done.